Hey guys, my name is John Singleton. I am head coach of the Progrm. We are here in Barcelona at Studio CrossFit. If you're enjoying the videos, please hit subscribe, hit the like button, and we will continue to bring you more content. Luckily for this video, I have Reka Morgan. And what we're going to be looking at today is the top 3 exercises we can do with a kettlebell in order to improve the strength, stability, and flexibility of your shoulder. Now, whenever we work in terms of improving the flexibility of the shoulder, we also want to work in conjunction with improving the strength. There's a big difference between our hip joint and our shoulder joint, and in essence, that difference is that the hip joint is more stable. They're both ball and socket joints, which means they have a lot of range of motion. However, the shoulder has more range, and that also makes it more vulnerable. So when we're working with the shoulder flexibility, we like to include some kind of external object or external load in order to improve the strength and stability at the same time. And for those of you who are doing CrossFit, the big thing that you will notice is that we have a load over our head a lot of the time. You know, day-to-day living, if you just take a few seconds now to think how often you have something above your head, probably never during the day. However, then we come into a CrossFit class and all of a sudden, we're having to do dumbbell snatches, overhead squats, we're having to hang from a pull-up bar, try ring muscle-ups. The list kind of goes on, and so it's important that our shoulder is prepared for that stress and that load that it's going to take. And the kettlebell is a perfect way in order to do that. So, exercise number 1 is the windmill. Now, just as a quick note, this is not the Russian style of windmill. This is something that we've kind of adapted and modified to keep it a bit more simple for the athletes that we work with. But the main thing we're looking to do with this exercise is look to strengthen and improve the internal rotation of the shoulder. So Reka's going to grab the kettlebell from and take it overhead. Now, this is the start position. One important thing to note is how Reka's holding the kettlebell. It's not just falling back in the wrist, so if you just let your wrist relax. So the wrist is actually active in holding the kettlebell in the right position. The elbow is straight, and we have a good line down by the body. Now, Reka's going to use a movement called a hip hinge, where she's going to send her hip back, and she's going to reach down to touch the floor. As she reaches down, she looks up towards the kettlebell, and then comes back up. And all I want you to do now while you're watching the video is just look at the amount of rotation that we get in the shoulder. So as Reka comes down, you can see how the shoulder's rotated into this internal rotation. She comes back up, and we receive to the normal standing position. We're just going to do one more. She comes down, we hit that internal rotation, we come back and relax. So this is our style of windmill. The main focus is on internal rotation and straight arm under load. This is, for those of you who are doing CrossFit, you'll notice when we snatch, and you see a lot of athletes go into overhead squats as well, that actually the shoulder is in a very similar position in the sense that we have a straight arm, we're in slight internal rotation, and therefore being able to control the load in a controlled environment is very important. Reka only has 8 kilos here, but actually for female athletes looking to do well with this movement, they could actually build up to even 16, 20, even up to 24 kilos for the athletes who are looking to move more weight in their snatch and who tend to be stronger athletes. And for the males, they can go all the way up to 32 kilos. We'll be using this exercise in our warm-up, doing maybe 6 to 8 reps, maybe building slightly through the weights, maybe starting at 4 to 6 kilos and then building up to, say, 12 for those who are beginning and heavier weights for those who are capable. So that was exercise number 1, our windmill. Exercise number 2, we're actually going to go down onto the floor for this one. So exercise number 2 is called our arm bar, and the setup is extremely similar to a Turkish get-up. For those of you who haven't done a Turkish get-up before, this is the start position. So what you'll see is that, again, Reka has the same position she had in the windmill. The wrist is straight, the elbow is straight. She's looking at the kettlebell. This just lets us know where the weight is, so it's not dangerous. in this case, the kettlebell's in Reika's right hand, her right knee is bent, her left leg is straight. We're just going to take this left arm slightly out of the way. This gives us space for our chest. Now Reika is now going to roll over onto her chest and look at the kettlebell. You'll notice that we've done something extremely similar as the windmill, and we've actually placed ourselves in internal rotation at the shoulder. The wrist is still in the same position. Reika's looking at the kettlebell to make sure she knows where it is and keep the position stable and safe and relaxed. So both these positions are working both these exercises are working extremely similar positions. The difference is with the windmill, we're actually going to hold this position. And what you'll find is that if we put Reika into this position for say 30 seconds, 60 seconds, what would happen is that the shoulder will start to move slightly and we start to see all those stabilizing muscles go to work. And again, you use the weight where your body is capable. So for example, if you're a stronger athlete, you would look to build up as a female up to 24, as a male even up to 32 kilos, looking to hold between 30 to 60 seconds as we go through. Now, with exercise number 3, this exercise is quite different, and we use the kettlebell in a different way to how it's typically used. So this is going to be a bottom-up kettlebell press. And we can do this seated or standing. It doesn't make, well, maybe seated is arguably easier. But as you'll notice now already, just in this position, Reika has to control the movement a lot more. The weight of the kettlebell is at the top, which means it wants to fall either side. And so Reika has to use the musculature of the forearm, of the shoulder in order to stabilize that. And just relax again. So that's the first challenge with this exercise, is purely just stabilizing the kettlebell here. And you will find that you should give this a go next time you get there, and you'll feel that that weight moves around. Next, what Reika's going to do is simply strict press up, and the instability of the kettlebell in this position makes it that a lot more challenging and engages the musculature in a different way, so we have to stabilize the movement. And we're just going to do 3 reps, and you can see Reika's fighting for that good range of motion, and it's slow and controlled. We're not fighting to go fast in this. And the kind of rep scheme we'll be looking to hit is 6 to 8 reps. And even with a light kettlebell such as an 8 kilo, this becomes extremely challenging. Again, we wouldn't expect someone to get up to kind of the male 32, female 24. It'd be a bit heavy with this exercise. If they can, that is extremely good. But for this exercise, we'll probably be in the kind of the 12 to 16 kilo range. So those are 3 exercises that you can use to improve the strength, the flexibility and stability of your shoulder. They're extremely useful in CrossFit because we use our shoulders so much. I would actually be recommending that you do these as your warm-up to make sure that your shoulders are quote-unquote activated for the session. If you have any questions, have any comments, please leave them below and we will get back to you. Hope you enjoyed the video.